I used to say as a teacher, sometimes I felt like I was water skiing over the top of a subject because we had to hurry up and get done. And we never got off our water skis and swam in the water and dove into deeper learning. The challenge I see in education is that it is simpler to just do what we've always done. But if we can teach kids to think more deeply, then we need to do it. I'm Sherry Braderia, Superintendent of MACCRAY Public Schools. Today we have a first ever, maybe even first ever in the state of Minnesota, epic education summit about daring to change your teachers' methods of instruction, to dig deeper, to ask kids deeper questions, to help kids wonder in a different way. We're all the northernmost schools in the Southwest Service Co-op, which is a co-op of educators that support us in different things we do educationally. Every department or every grade level today has an igniter, a facilitator that asks the instructors, asks the teachers deep and rich questions about what they're doing.
Find something today that makes you thirsty, that makes you say, I want to try that, even if you only do it once.
We had some great igniter speeches that got our presentation off to a great start and got us thinking about why we do this and the needs of the students in our classroom and how it's great to be a presence and build relationships with them.
And we also have lead teachers from around our 6 school districts that are here today showing examples of how their classrooms are different. We have a math classroom where the teachers, who are pretending to be the students, are touching the geometric shapes, touching what is 3 inches long, what is more, 7 or 2. In the math den this afternoon, the goal is to show instructors the impact of touching math.
In the traditional model, when we say, here's a question, I'll do it once for you, and now here's one for you, you try it. We're really not promoting thinking for that child, we're promoting them to copy what I did. Instead of having them mimic, why aren't we asking our students to think?
For a long time, we expected that if a student could recite math tables really fast in 1 minute, wow, great math student. Or do they just have a photographic memory? Or do they just know to do the 0s, 1s, and 5s first so they can get the most done? And do they really truly know the relationship between numbers?
We're pulled so many different directions in education that oftentimes we lose focus on all of the different strategies that we can pull in. Taking a step back, a deep breath, and listening to others around us, giving us opportunities to think about different kinds of strategies that we can implement in our classroom is really refreshing. Not just teaching solely to a test, but providing more hands-on opportunities for learning.
I think many of us were taught in a very traditional way, and that has created kind of a negative stigma about math, and now we're trying to transcend that into more of a positive relationship with math where everybody believes they can do it and they feel like they have support in the process of doing it.
If kids aren't successful in school, could it be because they're not moving?
I can't even sit still for an hour while I pay my bills. But yet we have our kids come to school and expect them to sit from the time they finish breakfast until it's 4 hours later and it's lunchtime. We don't do this in school, do we? Take kids to the weight room? That's what they were talking about in the Igniter session this morning. How do we do things differently? How do we think differently?
I used to say to teachers I hired as a high school principal, name a teacher you want most to be like. And the most common answer I get from people is, I never knew, going into this teacher's classroom, what we were going to wonder about, what we were going to think about, how he or she was going to present it to us. Always wondered. Never wanted to be late for that class because I always knew it was going to be interesting. Even if it was just about commas.